I've heard that life insurance trusts keep life insurance payouts from being counted in my estate for estate tax purposes, but I don't really understand how that works. I'm Sarah Siedentopf. I'm an estate planning attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. The deal with life insurance trusts is that they own the life insurance policy. And a life insurance policy that you do not own is not counted as part of your estate unless there are what are called incidents of ownership. There are various rights that are considered incidents of ownership. Basically, if you can still make changes to things, you might still be considered the owner. The biggest one being if you have the right to change the beneficiaries, you will be considered the owner for IRS purposes. But if you've set up your trust so that you are not in a position where you have any of these incidents of ownership, then a life insurance policy owned by this trust will not be considered as part of your estate. How do we do this? First, we set up the life insurance trust. And it is irrevocable or irrevocable, depending on how you like to say it. You set it up, and again, like I said, we avoid these incidents of ownership, so we can't do things like change beneficiaries, or at least you can't change beneficiaries later. Then once that trust has been set up and someone other than you is set up as the trustee, then the trust should buy the life insurance policy. That is the easiest and smoothest way to do it. Certainly it is possible for trusts to take on ownership of existing life insurance policies. There are some tax implications. It can get tricky, and if you pass away within 3 years of that transfer, it will be included in your estate for estate tax purposes. Best plan is set up the trust, and then the trustee of the trust buys the life insurance policy to be owned by the trust. Then, every year, there is a gift into the trust, because really all it holds is this life insurance policy. And if you own life insurance, you know that every year they would like some money from you to maintain that policy. So if all I've got in this trust is the policy, I don't have anything to pay it with. So each year, someone, probably the grantor, is gifting money into the trust to pay this policy. However, we might have an estate gift issue because it is a transfer. And so the way we get around this is that the beneficiaries in your trust have the ability to take this money. And so each year they get what's called a crummy letter that says, hey, the grantor has put X amount of money into the trust. There are 5 beneficiaries, so your fifth of it is worth XYZ. You have 30 days or until the end of the year, or certain limited amount of time to tell us if you're taking your share out. If they take their share out, you've got a big problem because now you can't pay for the life insurance. So the beneficiaries have the legal right to do it, but they also need to know that they should not do it. When you are thinking about life insurance trusts, if you realize that you've got beneficiaries that can't think that far ahead and might in fact be in a position that taking a little bit of money now and ruining everything in the future would sound better than waiting, you might not want to make them beneficiaries who are receiving these crummy letters. But assuming that everything goes to plan, the trustee sends out the letters saying, you got XYZ amount of time, nobody takes them up on it, then we pay the life insurance policy, and we do that again year after year until that life insurance pays out, in which case it is not owned by you, not counted in your estate, but going to the beneficiaries that you have designated. One of the really great things about this is that it is much simpler than many of the other strategies that might be needed to get things out of your estate or manage high net worth estates. This is worth knowing about, and if you're in a situation where you're thinking that this might be useful to you, again, please call me before you've got the life insurance policy, if at all possible, because it is best to set up the trust first and then buy the policy. But please do give me a call, and please also like and subscribe. Thanks.